Hi everyone, Carter Krishnaiyer here from the Pavilion, the Beyond the Boundary podcast. And the IPL season has started with a bang. 3 matches in the books. The defending champion, Royal Challengers Bengaluru, with a difficult match against Sunrisers Hyderabad in Bangalore. It was a very, very good match, good curtain raiser for this tournament, for this competition this season. Interesting match. I really felt like Hyderabad put it all out there and had a chance to win that match. Obviously, there was a lot of hype going into the week about the Mumbai-Kolkata match, which was Sunday. We'll get to that match as well. Mumbai Indians win by 6 wickets with 5 balls remaining in that match. And then Monday's match, which was the really a very disappointing match in Gauhati. Rajasthan, who is playing 3 home matches this season in Assam to broaden the appeal. It's strange that a Jaipur-based team would be there, would play matches in Assam, but whatever. Ownership has made that decision. They want to broaden their fan base against Chennai, who have, of course, won this competition more than any other team, but look just so overmatched in this opening game, and one of the worst performances you could possibly see all season in the very first game. Rajasthan wins by 8 wickets with 47 balls remaining. And that 47 balls remaining, by the way, could have been like 60 balls if they weren't just content to take singles because they knew they had such control of the match. So it was 12.1 overs Rajasthan won that match in. We'll get to why the Super Kings were so poor in a little bit. But let's start with that match in Bengaluru, between RCB and Sunrisers. So it was really, really a fantastic performance, curtain raiser for Ishan Kishan, who is now the captain of Hyderabad. And he basically fought a lone battle while wickets were falling around him, smashing an 80 off of 38 balls and keeping his side in the match, dragging them past 200 when it looked like they were really going to limp to that total. And they played really, really well in their innings. Now, there is going to be all the question marks, I think, about the way they defended that 200 plus total. But obviously, you have a couple of elements here. First off, you had Hyderabad start so poorly because Jacob Duffy, who is new. You talk about the champions adding someone pretty significant. Duffy had a great debut. His power play spell was phenomenal. He took 3 wickets in the power play. And Hyderabad at one point were 29 for 3. And he got Abhishek Sharma, whose poor World Cup, and we were going to continue to say he had a poor World Cup, even though India won the World Cup. Abhishek lost his wicket quickly, much like he did several times for India during that recently completed World Cup. And Travis Head, who I thought would probably be a little smarter with his batting, lost his wicket also to Duffy pretty early on. And then there was the great catch by Phil Salt that seemed to turn the momentum a little bit when Sunrisers were posting. Well, Kishan in particular was posting a good score, but wickets were falling around him. And obviously, when it came to RCB's innings, Kohli, one of the greatest cricketers of all time. And sometimes if you just watch international cricket, you forget because he's retired from international cricket for India. You forget what an impactful player he still is. We'll get to Rohit also, actually, in the next match. Another Indian great that is still doing the things that he's always done at the franchise cricket level in franchise cricket. So Kohli had 69 off 38. He dropped the ball actually where they could have gotten another wicket in one rare mistake he made. I think got kind of caught in the lights on that drop, but they were still able to see it out, and this is a perfect start for RCB as they look to defend their title. They showed they can dominate a chase even if they have to chase down 200 plus on a flat track. Remember, because of the I'm looking for the right term here. I don't want to be offensive, but the shenanigans, let's call it, from fans in Bangalore when they won the title last season, that entire pitch got torn up, and so it's been resodded, and the track is flat, and the surface is playing very differently. It played very differently in this match than it did last year. But so they showed they could dominate a chase on that flat track, but I keep an eye on Hyderabad the rest of the season. They really showed that they can post a score, and that they have some bowlers that can keep them in these matches. So let's move on to Sunday, which was the Mumbai-Kolkata match. And it was the greatest chase for Mumbai in their franchise history at the Vakende, chasing down 221, which was posted by Kolkata. And it ends their 14-year jinx of not winning that season opening fixture. So that's significant. Now, I came into this competition saying I'm really excited about Kolkata with their core. They have three of the top. New Zealand gets to the final of the World Cup, right? You could argue New Zealand's three best players are all playing for KKR, for Kolkata Knight Riders. And you add that to the Indian players they have, you've got a core that maybe can contend for a title this year. And they showed that they had that ability, but it was just a little too much. Rohit is just like Virat Kohli. He's continuing to do it at the franchise cricket level. A 78 off of just 38 deliveries was really the difference. And Rickleton got 81 for 43. So if you look at, if you look at the squads, Bengaluru and Mumbai have superior player for player squads than everybody else. And you think about a guy like Ryan Rickleton. We weren't hyping him before the season. If he were on another team, we probably would be. So the two of them had a 148 run opening stand. Incredible, right? It was a long time before Kolkata got a wicket. But I was really impressed by the way Kolkata played, because they have in Finn Allen and Tim Seifert, two guys that are going to get them a lot of runs. And we saw once again, Finn Allen is such a difficult player to bowl to, particularly on a high scoring track. And he can get his runs various ways. And we've seen that through the years. And so I really like going forward how well Kolkata can compete in this competition. And Rahane was good, as usual, anchoring the innings, and he got 67 off 40, which is pretty good. But he cramped up. And so when he cramped up, he was, it raises doubts about his immediate fitness, and they had to make an impact substitution, right? But it also, he began, I think he couldn't run out singles at that point, or braces. So he's trying to keep the flow of runs going by hitting for power. And eventually, as we said, they posted a great score, but were caught. So for Mumbai, they break this issue of opening matches. But I have to tell you, Kolkata, what I had said in my preview, which is I was tipping them to be the surprise squad, they have this devastating batting order. And it's a lot of non-Indian players, right? They have every team in this league has an Indian core, but they've gone out and gotten, I think, some of the best foreign players. And it wasn't after the World Cup, right? The auction was before the World Cup, and they went out and secured some arguably New Zealand's three best players. They secured, and New Zealand got to the final. And those guys, I think, are all showing. You plug them into the squad, they're going to be a contender as the season goes on, especially as those players get to know each other and their tendencies and partnerships build. So Kolkata loses, but I think a pretty strong statement. Now we're not going to spend much time on the final match, which was Rajasthan and Chennai, because it was so bad. I don't even know where to start with this. Jofra Archer, of course, the great English bowler, had used, and the Gauhathi conditions were perfect for him. He just dismantled Super Kings. And this was the dilemma for, we talked about this in terms of how do you, if you're Harry Brook, use Jofra Archer for England in the World Cup? What overs do you give him? Do you save him for the death overs? Do you try and get wickets early? And England, there were questionable decisions made in terms of England's order, in terms of bowling, and quite frankly, at times their batting order. You saw today, if you give Archer a couple early overs in the power play, and he's on, that's the match. And that was the match. Chennai never had a chance when they took a couple of those wickets. And Sanju Samson, the hero for India in the World Cup, now coming home to South India. He's South Indian. He's from Kerala. Coming home to South India to play for CSK, facing his old squad, and he had a nightmare debut. Lasted just I think 6 or 7 balls. He lasted one over basically. Maybe it was 7 balls. And Berger just bowled him right on that 6th or 7th ball, and he looked perplexed. So Berger also, I should mention, had got his wickets as well, in addition to what Jofra Archer did, and it was. So Rajasthan batted. There was nothing in it, right? They could have a leisurely stroll through the park, which is what happened. Now, so how do we evaluate this? Because we talked about Bengaluru and Mumbai having, on paper, the best squads. We've talked about Kolkata, who I tipped. This is me. I'm always going to try and find a dark horse. That's the American in me. That's a very American thing. But then the question is, how do we look at Rajasthan after this first match? Because they were the most impressive side. Maybe CSK was just that bad. Maybe that's it. But by far the most dominant win of the 3 opening matches. And Rajasthan looks balanced. They have a frightening pace attack. We know that when you have Jofra Archer, that when he's on. That's always been the case in the IPL. He's been inconsistent at times for England, but there's a reason why the England bowling attack is always built around him, because when he's on, he's unhittable. And that's been part of the element of Bazball, right? Which Brendan McCullum has brought to England, because Bazball is a high-risk philosophy. So McCullum understanding kind of the sort of people he's got, sort of bowlers he's got and batters he's got in the England squad, it's high risk, high reward. So sometimes Archer just gets lit up in internationals for England, particularly when they play India or Australia, right? That's the thing that Bazball hasn't figured out. It's gotten England to where they have a high risk, high reward strategy, and they somehow get by everybody else, but they can't get by India and Australia. And I wanted to do a whole video on the England setup in the wake of the World Cup and in the wake of the Ashes. That's probably coming at some point. But when Archer's on, he's very hard to hit. And you saw that they are able to control a match from the outset, which we did not see that kind of control from Bengaluru or from Mumbai. We didn't see any control, quite frankly, from Mumbai early on. Like, Kolkata looked very, very good. So, yeah, something to think about. Maybe Rajasthan has got a very good side. Maybe Rajasthan is only going to look this good when they play in Gauhati. Maybe that's a better pitch and a better venue for their pace bowlers. And seam really comes into play in those conditions, as they do in Kolkata, by the way. It's different than playing in Jaipur. Just the conditions are different. It's different. You know, the subcontinent, you know, the climate's different this time of year in that part, around the Bay of Bengal than it is in the arid conditions of Jaipur or of that part of the country. So maybe this is something where they're going to be this strong in Gauhati in those 3 matches, and the other fixtures, which are at home in Jaipur, in their normal home, they're not quite as dominant. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll be back with you next Tuesday for our next IPL Weekly.